This man depicted behind me here in statue is one of the most courageous people in the world. So the whole point of this little adventure we're on right now is we made a pilgrimage to the Liberty Statue Park.
That's right.
Which commemorates, sort of freedom, democracy, the fight for freedom anyway. It's got the Tank Man thing up there. Yeah. And you know what? It made me think for a minute about the sort of brave Chinese immigrants that put all that stuff up. But then it got me thinking about Chinese immigrants and the fact that they're allowed to immigrate to places like America or pretty much any country around the world. You see there's a large Chinese population, and they're either immigrating legally or illegally, but they're there doing their thing. Then, just recently, the Chinese government kind of put forth an idea of making it easier for foreigners to get permanent residency in China. And it's quite funny. Let's hit the road and talk about it. So, this has been something we've talked about a lot, about this whole idea of getting a Chinese green card or permanent residence or whatever, and it's basically a bunch of bullshit. I think it's within the last 10 years, only 7,300 foreigners have ever gotten that permanent residency. And that, just think, it sounds like a lot, right?
It's athletes and like scientists and stuff.
Yeah, but consider that...
It's not a lot.
No, it's not, because consider that America gives out like 1 million green cards a year.
Right.
To people from all nationalities.
Correct.
Also, you have to bear in mind that the 7,000 odd foreigners, that includes Koreans, Japanese, people that actually have like ancestral ties to China and stuff. So, the actual number of like white foreigners, we could say, or brown foreigners, or, are significantly less. So what I'm trying to get at here is that it's almost impossible. The requirements to get that permanent residency is you need to invest at least $2 million US, which is a lot.
Yeah.
But then there's a whole host of other things that you have to, be able to meet, like check boxes you have to meet.
Right.
And it actually turns out that it's harder to get a permanent residence card into China than it is to get into pretty much all developed first world nations.
Yeah.
It requires more. You basically have to give a scientific contribution. In other words, you have to like bring state secrets with you or whatever.
You have to be a traitor
secrets
to your country.
Yeah. Or you have to bring massive amounts of investment, or it's really high.
Yeah.
So it's like not your average person. You can't like go get married and have a stable job and get permanent residence like you can in just about every country. But the whole thing is they were thinking about, and I think it's due to the slowdown in the economy and the coronavirus and stuff. They're thinking of lowering those requirements, but don't get excited because they just say instead of 2 million now you can invest 1.4 million US dollars. So they're still incredibly like out of reach and unreasonable.
One thing, I don't know if you're going to bring this up, but they are making it much lower requirements for people from Africa and Latin America. Right. And there was actually recently a government directive, I think you saw this, right? Government directive and a leaked document that they were trying to attract people from Africa and Latin America, get them to marry Chinese girls, give them permanent residence, and attract them for labor because they said our workforce is too small.
Oh, okay.
Not joking. And then it leaked on the internet, and everyone in my WeChat, everyone all over the place went ape, and they actually had to retract the bill. Right. Because everyone's like using the N-word and like get out of our country, blah blah.
That's kind of what I was getting to here. Is not specifically that. That's a great example because that ties into this.
I have all the documents for you.
That's great. When we get over the highway, we're going to be turning left. So I guess we got to get into the left lane soon. Anyway, maybe just pop in over here.
Okay.
All right. So sorry, what I was getting at is they put these this proposal basically to say, hey, we're thinking about lowering the standards for foreigners to get permanent residence.
Right.
And the Chinese internet exploded with racism and xenophobia and discrimination and hate. They're like, how dare you? How dare foreigners think that they can become Chinese?
Right.
How dare these N-words marry our marry our Chinese? All this kind of stuff. It's vitriol and it's out there and it's crazy. And the reason I'm bringing this up is these people that are making all these hateful comments. These people, why do they not realize that their peers, their uncles, their brothers are living in other countries fully immigrated, fully naturalized, allowed to go to different countries. Why can't they reciprocate? Why can't they be like, oh, that's cool, we can go there, so let them come here?
Right.
They have to be racist and xenophobic, and it's this double standard where everyone else is racist, but Chinese people can't be. You know?
Right. They get a pass.
It's absolutely horrendous.
I mean, honestly though, like I understand some of the anger.
Yeah.
Not because of the race thing, because it was a government directive that wasn't voted on by the people. And then specifically asking for certain areas that they want to have influence over and making it real easy for them. You know, not necessarily even talented people in that one. It made it super easy for those nations.
Right.
So people were pissed off.
I know, but it's kind of just silly because you say that they couldn't vote on it, but they can't vote on anything anyway.
That's what I'm saying. So you have like all these like crazy laws or whatever. But when I say, okay, I'll rephrase that. It's not that they couldn't vote on it. It wasn't even discussed. It wasn't on the news. It had to be leaked, right?
Right.
So people were like, what the hell? Because it's a big deal.
It is a big deal.
It was like attracting millions of people and giving them green cards.
Yeah, but they didn't give them, obviously. That was just an idea.
Right, because there was too much pushback. Like everyone went crazy and they had to scrub the internet of all this stuff.
Absolutely. Yeah, so the whole thing is I'm really kind of tired of this absolute drivel and nonsense.
Sure.
How these double standards of how they are very happy to take but never give.
Right.
And it basically boils down to the same thing in this current situation with permanent residents.
Right.
And once again, why not allow people that are honest, hardworking, tax-paying people who have married? And this is kind of personal for you and me because our Chinese wives, being married for so many years, living in China, paying tax, you know, contributing to the economy, doing all that stuff. So what if we're not like huge scientists or something? We're still solid people.
Yeah.
You know?
Bringing money into the economy.
Yeah, so why is it that we couldn't, having lived 14 and a half years, if we lived anywhere else in the world and we were married to a local 14 and a half years working, paying,
pretty much everywhere.
We would have gotten permanent residence by now, at least the option, right?
Right.
But no, they don't believe in that, and yet they would be very happy to snap it up everywhere else. And I do want to mention something else here.
Sure.
The Chinese government is actually to blame here, because what they do is they constantly push this nationalist nonsense, right?
Right.
They push this rhetoric about us versus them, foreigners can never be Chinese, you know, like we are a pure race.
Yeah.
If you don't have Chinese skin and hair color and stuff, you will never be Chinese. All this kind of crap. You've seen it. And that's the government's line. And then when they renege on that, it pisses the people off a lot.
Yeah.
I mean, think about how it must feel to be a Chinese person who grew up with, we're communist and we're going to have to, like, everybody share the collective farms and we're fighting the evil capitalists. And then all of a sudden you see that they're letting Microsoft set up over there and Apple and stuff. And
it's
like,
gotta be weird,
what?
right?
Well, I mean, the government lied to you. The government... Yeah, they told you, hey, we're communist.
We're not only going to be a communist country, we're going to take what was promised to you, and now you have to survive in a capitalist society that's evil.
Yeah, so basically, sorry, you comrade or whatever. You're not a comrade anymore.
No.
You know, this is capitalist. Go get a job, you know.
But it's going to look like the same country. All the same insignia, oppressive laws.
Yeah. So, I mean, to be a Chinese person, you must constantly be let down by your government.
Yeah.
At least in countries like America, let's say the leader does something you don't like, you can go out and protest, or you can go and like sign a bill or a petition or something,
or join the government, like in your local area, and make your local changes.
Yeah, but whereas in China, you just kind of have to live with the hypocrisy, and then you have to support it. That's the worst thing. They demand like unquestioning support on all their policies and everything they do.
Right.
It's so annoying. It's got to suck so bad. You know?
Right.
Anyway, that's pretty much what I wanted to talk about, and once again point out the absolute level of racism and xenophobia and hatred that you see coming out on the Chinese internet.
Sure.
And I want people to see that this is something that we shouldn't be excusing. Racism is not good in any form from anywhere.
Right.
And you know, I think Chinese people need to wake up a little bit and start taking responsibility for the bad actions, at least acknowledging it, saying that yes, there are like racist Chinese people.
Sure.
You know, they are giving us a bad name. Anyway, that's all I wanted to say. This is a bit bizarre because this is on the SerpentZA channel, but let's be fair. you know, we've been on this hectic road trip and we haven't had any time to film. We've just been doing ADVChina stuff, and yeah, we managed to shoot a short one for you, which everyone should go and take a look at. By the way, if they haven't seen it, it's a fantastic video that we filmed out at Tankman. And if you like this format of us riding the motorcycles, this happens every week, every Monday over on the ADVChina channel, so please go check out ADVChina.
Right.
I think you'll enjoy it. And as you can see, we're just leaving Vegas.
Leaving Las Vegas, a song.
Yeah, we are. Gotta get over it.
Now you have to play it.
Yeah, exactly. All right, guys, thank you so much for watching. You're bloody awesome, and can't wait to see you in the next one, so stay awesome.